countless monsters suddenly gathered at the mountain top, instantly surrounding a family at the foot of the mountain. And at this moment the only shelter door was locked from the inside. They desperately pounded on the door, even picked up rocks and crazily smashed the door, but the people inside remained indifferent. At this time the monsters were already starving, rushing down from the mountain top like a tidal wave. If the shelter didn't open its door, they would surely be torn to shreds by these monsters. Seeing the monsters getting closer and closer, in desperation, David had no choice but to grab a crowbar and stand in front of his family. But unexpectedly at the last moment, that door suddenly opened. The family desperately rushed into the shelter, finally managing to save their lives. But their escape had only just begun, because monsters like these had already spread across the globe. What's even more despairing is, these monsters were actually released by humans themselves. 10 years ago, a geological exploration company was carrying out a deep drilling mission. When the drilling depth approached 10,000 meters, a technician suddenly noticed abnormal shaft imaging. Immediately after, a group of bizarre creatures never seen before climbed up along the drill pipe. To figure out what was going on, a bold employee went to check it out. As a result, the moment he walked out the door, he was attacked by a giant bird monster. All the staff in the entire department without exception were brutally slaughtered. At the same time, the project department discovered countless giant bird monsters appearing outside the windows. They covered the entire base like dark clouds, and the whole was still continuously flying out various unknown creatures. They spread like a tidal wave, rapidly flying to all parts of the world. In the blink of an eye, the entire sky was covered by them. The sky above the city's pitch black. These monsters seemed to be summoned by something, and began launching crazy attacks on humans. They attacked humans, destroyed buildings on the ground. Countries around the world dispatched fighter jets to counterattack. Dense aerial firepower bombardment, ground artillery fire connected into one piece. But facing such enormous numbers, human weapons were completely useless. Within just a few hours, defense lines of countries around the world collapsed one after another. Countless cities were razed to the ground. Millions of people perished overnight. Earth completely fell into doomsday. However, just when people were in despair, 24 hours later, the monsters suddenly stopped their attacks. They seemed to hear some kind of command. All burrowed back underground on their own, as if completing a mission, completely disappearing from the surface. No one knew why they came, nor did anyone know when they would appear again. Humanity could only build a blockade line above the giant hole, and called that place the gates of hell.